Hello everybody, welcome back to the next episode of Food for Thought. My name is Michael O'Connor, and today we'll be talking about the future with three of my friends, two of which are recurring guests here on the show. So we have, to my left, John.
Hello.
We have Tia.
Hello.
And new guest, Mike Walendowski.
Hello.
Hi.
That is not as sexual.
It's not, but
it's no. That's good. So
I don't know how to if this is gonna be a serious podcast or
it'll be very
serious in the beginning, then we'll slowly.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually things
idiots.
get more and more casual as time goes on.
Okay.
None of it's ever shut up, we're talking.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it's just I don't know if it's I could do a goofy voice or something like that.
No, it's totally cool.
Okay.
So today's topic was actually accidentally created through a discussion we had at the dining hall with Mike. The future and aspirations for the future specifically. So I can't remember the specific question. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, no. So when I was getting ice cream, being an old man, I thought about something like when people you always hear about your grandparents or probably your dad or something, or in films they always have that dream. It's I want to buy a boat, or they want to make a bar, or just kind of a hobby, something small, rebuilding the car or something. And I said my dream job or my future hobby was create an actual bar. I guess it's the dream of the American dream kind of.
Oh yeah, so what would your dream retirement job?
Yeah,
your dream retirement project sort of.
Yeah, you look in your garage and your dad's building that old F-150. I don't know.
Or an old 40s Jeep.
Yeah.
Leftover and surplus.
Yeah.
Build that up to be street legal or whatever.
Yeah, it's because you're not really doing anything. You're retired and old, and you're just waiting to die now. So it's
Oh.
Well, what are you gonna do? You sit at home. You're retired. What are you gonna watch? Rewatch MASH for the 50th time? I don't know. But my ideal, I'll just say future dream is creating a bar, either old Western, but not spaghetti Western, but that bar that everyone comes in and it's you already feel you're at home. You're already the bartender is the usual, and it's yeah, the usual, and it's everyone's happy and everyone's fine. Or a 30s Prohibition era jazz bar, this.
Oh, a speakeasy.
Yeah,
Cool.
this.
Yeah.
You can see the smoke, but it's a really light tint.
Around the lights basically.
Yeah, you
It's
hear
that-
the piano, you hear the little sax in the background.
the local hole in the ground kind of bar.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
If you play the game of Bayonetta, the bar or your upgrade station, that's pretty much a good example of what it'd be. But yeah, so then the question I asked was just what was yours? What do you guys want to do? Do you guys have an idea of oh, I want to rebuild a car, or it's I want to open a mom and pop shop kind of thing. So.
Well, Tia, what would you do?
Why me first?
I'm just going counterclockwise.
This happened last
Everything is done in circles.
I specifically remember saying that it was between I don't know and I don't have one. I don't know. I've never really thought about anything like that, to that degree, I guess. So I'll probably come up with one within the next hour and a half.
Cool, at the very end of the show.
Yeah. And it's oh guys, I got it. I can answer all the questions.
I know. You guys answer all of the questions, and I'm
wait.
okay. 1, I want to do this. 2, I want to do this. 3, this. 4, this.
And that's
Okay,
all the
that's
time we
the-
have here, folks.
It'd be a great comeback, to burst back into it.
It's in every conversation when you're talking about a movie, and it's who's the actor that played the Doctor in Jurassic Park, and no one knows, and then you're already moved on, and you're talking about the next hit food cuisine. You're Tobey Maguire, and it's that's probably not who he is, but
No, it's definitely not.
definitely not. I don't know.
Definitely not Tobey. He was a kid when
Can
that
you
movie came out.
But yeah.
John, what would yours be?
Well, this Is it like any kind of thing? Any
Well,
kind
it's
of
just
thing?
no, like something that like I don't know. It's like it's I don't know like say like phrase it or any different than like your. I think it's like your like think of it as like your dream job or like something that you like you can like see yourself probably doing. Not saying like I'm gonna try to make a movie or it's like I don't know.
Like just like
Like the
any
bucket
kind
list.
of any kind of project that like you would devote yourself to if you were like financially sound from work and like you're finally like independent.
Okay,
Well-
can I like after he's done? Can
Oh,
I,
yeah,
like,
sure.
go back? I raised my hand, but you guys can't see it.
Go ahead, Tia. Go on.
No.
Tia raised her
No,
hand.
no,
Tia,
you answer the question.
Tia, stop
No.
coloring. Stop
I
coloring.
want to color. John, answer the question.
Okay.
Yeah, John, you go first.
In that case, what I had a really fun goal with my friends back at home. Basically the plan was, and I could always add this to more people, obviously, but like apply this to more people. But I would really love to have. I wouldn't own the company, but I would share this company with everybody that I know, like who are artistically talented, and it would be a company basically where we produce either theater stuff related stuff or film related stuff. And so it would be something in the nature of like I would have all my friends like who's a theater major, who's into like writing scripts, a person who is very good at filmmaking, a person who is very good at performing, and then obviously for my case, I compose, so I would be the guy composing music for this film or theater production. So I would love to be part of like some sort of form of like large production company.
So like the Captain Planet of like theater production kind of thing.
Basically,
It's like
That's kind of cool, actually.
movie edit,
because
theatrical presentation.
and I almost would borderline want to do this right when I get right out of college, almost, but.
You mean you could? That is
But
like a really good.
That's one way of doing
Bring it
it
home.
for as a composer, at least, is starting a group and then try to tour around the world and try to like sell yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually like a really fun idea, and I want to like that's something I kind of really wanted to do when it comes like to being an animator. Like, if people don't know, I don't have anything animated yet, so don't be like, where is this shit?
Show animation.
It's like I'm told I'm a high renowned animator. I just don't produce it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Psychic Pebble, the voice changer.
Jesus. But like, I feel like it'd be amazing to like have work with your friends, just making stuff, just like to show the world and all that. And I feel like that would be fun if you're traveling the world. Like, of course, like theater and animation's two different fields. I feel, but
Still come
No, they
work.
come together pretty.
They come together pretty.
You ever seen
Well,
like
It's creating. It's basically storytelling. I mean,
yeah, I
and
don't know how to put it. Like I'm not gonna be like you're not. It's from the sounds of it, you're not gonna be mostly in the studio 99% of the time, kind of thing. You're gonna be like going.
I'm gonna be everywhere. I'll be at meetings and then I'll have to go to an orchestra and show them how to fucking play my piece. But
No.
no, that's not how you do it.
Oh, wrong.
It's forte, not piano. Anyways.
I used the bongos, not the real drum.
Gosh, it's timbales, not timbales. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's my hot tamales?
Where's my timbale? All right, Michael. What about you? What's your future thing?
Man, I'm kind of torn because on one hand, I sort of want to like function as like an art curator for either like a public museum or like a gallery of some kind. I feel like that would be like a really interesting, very relaxing thing to kind of do, just to like, design the presentation and organize events and stuff. That kind of thing is like always really validating for me, I guess. Outside of that, I've always kind of had a dream of like starting up a diner. like a good an old-fashioned 50s roadside diner kind of.
Where is a big question.
Santa Fe.
I would do it in Santa Fe.
Okay,
Santa Fe.
Are we
here's-
bringing Rent the third time again?
Yeah.
Here's some closure for you guys. So Michael is obsessed with Rent. We just watched it like not that long ago. He and Justin, who was a guest on this podcast
Twice so far.
twice, they keep singing the songs, and it's just like shut up.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm not knocking on the musical. Like I loved it. It was great.
It's just too much.
It's a lot.
I'm sorry.
No,
I just did it for the joke. Like, but realistically though, I think I would kind of want to open it up.
Anywhere.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
Not in the ocean. How about that?
Okay, well, not in the ocean, yeah, obviously.
Welcome to Rapture Dinos.
No, actually, you can call it Poseidon Dining, and it's the first underwater, completely underwater
I feel like that's a bad
diner.
idea.
It is a bad idea. No one wants a soggy BLT, but
It would be a very tragic idea.
Good point. No,
It'll be like the Lost City of Atlantis, but they wanted to be lost.
There's just like eggs just floating.
like a fried egg just
Yeah.
there.
So we see a man overboard, and it's just an egg over easy.
Yeah, he's over easy. No, I guess I would do somewhere probably on like the eastern seaboard, like Boston maybe. I think would be cool. There's a lot of history there, and it's it doesn't really feel like the 50s like citywide like old style theme, but like I think it'd be kind of interesting to have like a really iconic design along the on the ocean. Kind of fun.
I
A
feel
lot of really
like-
great marine life for produce and whatnot.
See, I would have like two ideas if I was ever to make like a dining place. It'd be either like it would be in like near the coast of like either like Florida or like California, like having that beach view, like having that nice seafood like feeling, like you're not gonna get yourself like a freaking filet mignon or something like that. Like you get yourself like fish and chips. Like,
Yeah.
You,
Like not soul food, but like hearty,
Yeah.
like, kind of like comfort food.
Yeah, and then the other place would be just New York City, kind of get that like Coney Island feel or like that Seinfeld like feel.
Okay, I have the answer to the question.
Okay.
So as far as like, I feel like with you guys, you're like, oh, I want to like start this, I want to create this, and like with me, it's kind of different. Like my dream job, as of like this moment, like my crazy out of the wazoo dream job, is to play in the pit for The Lion King, like on Broadway.
That'd be cool.
It like that's my favorite movie and it's my favorite musical, and it's funny, my mom, like before I came to college, my mom was like, because I was like, I don't know what I want to do for college, and it was like summer before senior year, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And my mom was like, you'd be really good in the pit for like The Lion King or any Broadway show. And I was like, you're right, I'm gonna go to music school, and I did. So now I'm here.
She's here.
So, I mean, I feel like that would be just a freaking amazing opportunity. It's so cool. It'd be so cool. I've done pit orchestra before, and I had a blast. And yeah, like, and I feel like with just any like big name Broadway show, to be in the pit for it would be super cool. And also, I feel like being a professor in the school, I feel like just thought about this, but being a professor like in the School of Music, either here or somewhere else, in a musical school, like the professor of like flute, I feel like that'd be pretty cool too.
See, I feel like I'm not like I know what the pit is, but like I just want to imagine like you go to the Lion King theater and it's like, and now the new show of the pit, and it's like an actual like arena, like the pit.
Pit orchestra is just
Yeah.
like a gladiatorial arena.
Like
with
it's
beating each other
themed,
over the head with
so like
instruments.
it's themed. So since it's a Lion King, you have to fight a lion. So.
Oh, the poor orchestra.
But like the fight doesn't start. Like the orchestra is playing, and then like right when the "Be Prepared" like kicks in, like that's when the lion like they start like poking the lion to get
Yeah, yeah.
agitated.
Oh no.
So because it's perfect, because it's like not only that it's the symbolism of like Scar and all that saying "Be prepared," it's also the actual song telling the orchestra "Be prepared."
Be prepared. There's a
Because after this, it's going
There's
to be
a
the
lion.
show.
Be prepared. There's a fucking lion, and you're going to die during the finale.
Oh, no.
I haven't seen the movie in so long.
John, I don't know if I'm making you laugh or scarring you.
Yeah,
Scarring, get it? Scarring.
Shit, I walked into that one.
Wait, I haven't seen the movie in so long.
It's a good ass.
Oh, I know,
It's
but
my favorite.
it'd be really funny if, like, after Be Prepared, like, they release the cages and all of a sudden you start hearing the circle life.
Oh no.
The one trumpet solos the whole thing because he's the only one left.
Like the drummer and like
it's
the
a duet.
in like
It's
this
a guy in a girl circle of life.
Hey, that's clever.
It's like the drummer in like the Revolution, like everyone's dying around them, but they're still playing drums.
It's like that one Dane Cook skit. He's like the guy in the flute is like or the piccolo or whatever, and he just gets shot like fuck, he's like struggling along. The cannonball goes up near him. Fuck. Shit, that's not October. Okay, it's remote.
It's remote. Okay, but that reminds me of a game. Have you heard of a Mound Blade?
Bye topic. Yeah.
We'll go back into that.
We'll go back. Obviously,
that just reminds me of I think a DLC they had, and it's like the Napoleon.
Oh, the Napoleonic War DLC
and
for
literally
Mountain
there'll be like times where like you can tell there's a group of people because they'll have like a band joining these hundreds of men fighting in battle.
That's like the worst DLC for that game imaginable. It's so boring.
Yeah, but you gotta think about it. It's pretty funny when everyone's like loading their rifles and
the whole game is standing in a line and firing a musket at somebody and then getting a hit.
And then when you're going up to Scottish, then you better be ready for those damn bagpipes because like everyone is synchronized and timed. It's the roaring.
The loudest. Once is like the THX logo sound is the loudest thing, but I think bagpipes and harmony is equally as loud.
Yeah.
You guys cannot tell, but I'm judging so hard.
I'm sorry.
That's a pretty consistent thing.
Yes, it is. I judge a lot.
But so in discussion of the future, to get back to this, so like would retirement be like that would be like the thing you would do after like releasing your own music, sort of, or performing for other groups? Like, would that be like your final note to go out on for your career before retirement, like the Lion King on Broadway, or would that be like?
That's a good question.
Actually.
I don't really know. I feel like if I were to actually like score a job on Broadway, I'd like stay there for a while. Cause usually like people who are hired for Broadway pits like stay there until they're tired of it. So like if some crazy happenstance I graduate and then they're like, you're hired, and I'm like 20, I'd probably stay there for like at least 10 years. And then probably go for a job as a professor or as someone who gives private lessons, and then do that until I get old, and then retire.
I mean, like, I would milk that moment, like, when I retired, to my grandkids, just because it'd be like, hey, did you know I was in the Lion King? I did the flutes.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, Grandma, we know. And, like, you say it 3 times in one day, and they're like, okay, Grandma, we get it.
That's Dr. Grandma for you.
Dr.
Yes.
PhD.
You're a grateful brat.
That's like. That's how you get smack.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
That's what you get. You know, let your heart live.
The circle of life, guys.
Yeah, full circle. That's what that's called.
I think for me with retirement, I feel like it's no such thing other than I grab the pencil or pen or whatever and you work and then you die, because there's really like, until your hands are unable to grab anything or do anything, or like I can't really think of anything.
Like until arthritis becomes a problem.
It's just pretty much my health is gonna be the reason why I retire. Is just because like I think if you like look at like people like famous studio artists and all that, they're still like in their 60s and 70s and they're still creating stuff.
Michael dropped his phone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things Michael are doing visually that you cannot see.
Yeah, this is just like a fidgeting thing, I guess, and I drop a phone. I'm gonna put this away now.
Yeah. But yeah, like like these guys are like, yeah, I worked on Mickey Mouse when it was black and white, and it's like, so what are you working on now? Moana. It's like, they're still going.
Yeah.
So of course some are like, it's like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to do this stuff anymore. I want to live. But I feel like that's what I want to do. Like my entire life is just creating stuff. It's just because like I think it's really fun. It's a great idea that like you can leave something behind for other people to see. Like even after like the original creators of like Snow White are like long gone, but like everyone still is like, that movie's so beautiful, it's so great, like it's all hand drawn, it's all painted, it's like the first painted film, I think. It's like a monumental thing, and like I feel like that's a great thing as like an animator or artist, is like I can leave this for other people to see even after I'm gone. But
That kind of like ultimate like longevity of sorts.
yeah,
You know, just gonna keep remastering it until the day.
yeah, until
ends.
George Lucas messes it up again.
Do you know Butch Hartman?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like leaving Nickelodeon and
Oh yeah.
but like same for your case, he's like still gonna do animations for people and stuff. And if Nickelodeon like has a new thing and they want his type of animation back on, he's more than happy to do that. So.
Yeah, because I think I watched that video. I think I was getting ready to go do something. I was like watching a bit of it, and it was really interesting. Like he's just like, I'm not leaving because of that. I think it was like there was no negative reasons why he's leaving. It's just that he wants to keep moving on and working on other stuff.
And if anybody was wondering who Nick Hartman is, he's the animator who
Butch
did.
Hartman.
What?
You said Nick Hartman.
Sorry.
Butch Hartman.
Butch Hartman.
He's the animator behind Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, yeah.
Okay.
And so he's very much in the Nickelodeon group.
He's pretty much was like Nickelodeon's backbone.
Yeah,
early.
for a
for a
long time.
while.
Like
too.
yeah, like he pretty much like
Didn't he do a few voicings of?
I think he did, yeah.
he
I think he voiced a couple of the newer characters in yeah, he's Doug Dimmadome, right? Actually, yeah. In Fairly Odd Parents, he's the voice of Doug Dimmadome.
I'm gonna look it up, but
I think he does. I'll look it up later.
But it's yeah, like it's so crazy that like the like how like only two shows, like he actually talked about the Fairly Odd Parents a little bit because that was like his first ever show he did, and he said like when they first aired it they only did I think a 6-hour like runtime, so 6 hours, that's like 12 episodes I believe for like 30 minutes. He had to do like they only had to work with 12 episodes for I think 6 months or something. So like thinking about that is that like only they had to keep rerunning the 12 episodes until he made like an entire season.
Dang, that's rough.
So that's why like I think if you notice like the first ever episode, like I think Timmy's head is much more like vertical and more like thin
I
than
think
like
it is, yeah.
I'm rough at remembering it, but that's why I think it's just because those are like the pilots.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's kind of crazy that like just moving on, but like I just can't wait to see what he's gonna do next.
Yeah. So further into like the idea of the future, we've discussed like our perfect like retirement project of sorts. Like what would be, what's your aspiration for like the impact you leave on the world in general, kind of? Because like the future's gonna go far on beyond our lifetimes.
Oh man, I have.
Hopefully. I mean, you have a point, but let's assume that it does. It goes on for another 400 millennia. Like, what kind of impact would you like to leave on the world before you pass away?
I feel like just making people laugh. My one of my major reasons to get into animation is that like I want to make people laugh. I want to make people happy. Even like my backup plan is being a psychologist because I want to make people happy. Every day, I think it's really nice to just watch a little like, if like, for example, if you ever watched freaking Dragon Ball PP or any like any like Newgrounds or like just small videos on YouTube, you probably like get a little chuckle out of it, or like you might actually die laughter just because how funny it is, and then you're probably gonna remember that like joke forever, and if not rewatch it like millions of times, and then it's like keeps like it just gets bigger and bigger, and it's not gonna be negative. It's not negative. Of course, you can make a negative cartoon, and of course, you'll probably do the same thing with the opposite outcome. But I don't want to do that. I want to make people happy. I want to make people laugh. I want to, like, if I want to put a web series out, the one example I kind of put, or like I can say, is that like watching old Game Grumps videos. I think Danny was talking about it. He said that like they get messages from people saying like, thank you, you guys are awesome, like you guys are like literally the reason why I'm here still. And I think we all know what that means. I want to be that person that makes someone so happy that they can keep going, and then sooner or later don't have to feel like they can get help and get better. Like that's where I want to see myself. It's just making people smile and happy and joyful. I don't know, probably draw porn on there, so. That'll bring people happy.
I'm not sure if you heard that, but he said he would draw porn on the side.
Hey, that's something. Like, something doesn't
Sorry,
work.
John, you have to balance that down a little bit.
I think we'll be just fine.
With me, I mean, not only do I, when I say I want to be like known for like my musicianship, like I don't mean like, oh, I want to be the best flute player in the world. I just like I want to be known as someone who, again, like had some sort of impact on musicians everywhere. Whether that be like me as like a teacher, and they say, you know, this is one of the best teachers I had, or someone I look up to as a musician. That's just really my goal, to be able to have, that sounds kind of self-centered, but
Not really.
like, what I was gonna say is like, I want to have people be able to look up to me, but like, I don't know how to necessarily put it in words, but I want to be able to, help people, like, with their musicianship, especially, like, flutists. And that's not just, like, technically speaking, like, that's, like, personality-wise, too. Like, and, like, mental, because, like, being a musician, like, it goes past just, oh, I know how to play an instrument. Like, there's a lot of stuff you have to do to, like, physically prepare for it, mentally prepare for it, stuff like that. And I want to be the type of person that's able to help people on their like journey to musicianship.
It's kind of like something I feel like everyone, like, we're all creators here, like we're all creating something, animating music or composing. I feel like the greatest thing, I feel like, to anyone is like, I think something that we never really mention, or like we don't try to be, like, try doing it, but I feel like the greatest like brownie points or like greatest feeling is when further down the line you already did your credit, you already put your hours in, and then you go to like a con or you go to a theater show and you're like, yeah, dude, like you inspired me to do this, and like you see their work and it's phenomenal.
I've had one of those moments towards like the end of my senior year. When I was a senior in high school, I was the section leader, like over the flutes and piccolos, like head section leader, and I'd been told that I was like one of the, you know, greatest leaders, like, for the season probably ever. And like if you were to go to my high school, there's a plaque with my name on it.
That's nice, yeah.
But someone who was a junior at the time came up to me and asked me for advice, like for applying for leadership positions, and was like, yeah, I remember you like being section leader and last season, and I just feel like I should come to you for some type of advice because you did so well, and I kind of want to model after you and what you did. So it's like, oh wow. So I mean, just that, like that little thing. It's like I made an impact on someone to go into leadership, and I think that's really cool. So I mean, if I could just continue to do that, like in the realm of music, like that'd be awesome.
John?
Career-wise, I would say, I would probably say that maybe I would not be here after I, pass away, but like my work will still be here, hopefully, if we still have, if all the music is saved on paper and nothing electronically happens, like crazy future thing, right? But like
only dot music.
Yeah. but my work will still be there, and my goal is to have that work being either played or used to some advantage. So I have my work still existing while I'm no longer existing, and not as in a selfish thing, as in more of like I want people to enjoy what I write instead of like, or like appreciate what I write or something like that, rather than me like wanting them just to play it just cause. I just want them to enjoy what I do and share that experience of how I wrote it through how they play it. And then personally, I just want to make sure like, I don't know, at the end, like everybody can like trust me as a friend, and like I can always be the person they can talk to, and that I want to make sure that everybody is like all right and fine. But yeah.
So I got a question for you. So like you say like you want to like hear people like hear the music being played and have the joy of people compose, like we kind of like have the same feeling of the work. What happens if you're like 90 and I don't know why you're gonna be here, but you're at like a club, like not those like like golf clubs, like
an out
like
club.
Yes.
And you get in there and you're like, this is fun, and then you start hearing your music being played, like,
yeah.
But it's like totally like not original, like you can the notes because again you made it, but like it's freaking,
It's like a trap remix.
it's like trap remix.
Yeah, like how would that feel, I guess? Because that is kind of like a twist on...
I don't know, it's kind of mixed messages, I would think, because it's my song, and they're promoting my song in a way, but they're using my song for their own advantage, and that's like bordering copyright reasons. It depends on the situation too, because like if the person who wrote that song came up to me and asked me if that's cool, I'll probably be okay with it. But if they do it like not without my permission, because there's like actual copyright code against like anybody who can play my music. Like my music has to literally, it cannot be like it cannot be like messed with or played in public, like
Unless you
for their own advantage, unless it's like, I think the policy is like 80 years after I die or something like that.
Yeah, the music enters the public sphere 70 to 74 years, I think.
Yeah, like
after its
I
original
die.
creation.
It's basically like the free domain kind
Wait, is it after you die, or is it
I thought it was
I
after
thought it was
I
after
died.
70 years it was created. Maybe that's visual images.
I don't know the.
I
just
don't
know
know the
that
specific
it's
number.
it's over 60 years.
I just
Yeah.
know it's a significant amount of time past its original creation. So
Yeah.
Which that's kind of crazy that literally it becomes free domain after you died. So it's like they're just like, all right, here's your $10.
But it makes
like,
sense because the relevance of the song is different after all those years, because
well, like
we have a different perspective culturally
yeah.
on music.
Bring around the future, how something messed up the future. Mickey Mouse, let's bring that boy to the table. The free domain got really screwed up because Walt Disney was like, originally, for people who don't know, originally you owned something for 60 years. That's enough time for you to get enough revenue from that character. Enjoy, like, that's pretty much the majority of people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, I think the average lifespan of anyone is like 70 years.
Isn't the average human like 70 years?
70 years,
Maybe,
and
like,
that's when like your health risks start kicking in. But still, that's enough time for you to like take the amount of revenue off that character or the idea or the concept for it to be useful. Of course, Walt Disney was like, no, because Mickey Mouse was about to get in for free
Yeah, they was
domain.
about to enter the free domain, and the Walt Disney Corporation was like, we can't let that happen.
Yeah, so they
they ended up lobbying for longer periods of fair use and locking certain icons down permanently, which meant that there's now a ton of like non-Disney affiliated icons that people wouldn't normally be able to use and sample and recreate.
I think
and, like,
Robin
use in
Hood was
writing.
like one of them, and now you can't even make Robin Hood or something. I can't remember.
I don't
There's
know.
like a list that like because since Disney remade them, it kind of screwed it up.
Oh yeah, because now they're like because they become Disney properties and then various renewed.
I think
It's weird.
yeah, I think for the first time, I think in like 30 something, I think Mickey Mouse will finally be in the free domain.
Really? And there's nothing I can do to.
Like, unless freaking Disney's like, hold up, we had Mickey Mouse for 100 years. I think we can go for another 100 more.
You're like, come on.
Here, this is it. All works published in the United States before 1923 are public domain. Works published after 1922 before 1978 are protected for 95 years from the date of publication.
Jesus Christ.
If the work was created but not published before 1978, the copyright lasts for the life of the author plus 70 years.
Ah, okay.
So it's about 70 years
Jeez.
after I die.
Yeah. Assuming it's not released. If it's been published, then that's the
Yes.
90 years.
That's insanity right there.
It makes sense, I think.
It makes complete
It
sense.
makes complete sense, frankly.
I mean, yeah.
Because the thing with like,
It's a
because
generation.
then you get into the discussion of like fair use and how you would change something that would normally be under copyright protection, so it no longer is.
Yeah.
Because like there's still originality to the idea of like recreating something.
Here's my knowledge
Bring it
of
to something.
stuff like this, but I think doesn't it like really only matter when you start putting a price tag on something like you like
for the most part.
for
yes.
like example fan art, like for music I don't know how that works, but like for fan art, if you're like I just drew this just to draw this, I'm not making any money off of this, they're like cool, and it's like I'm gonna put 1 penny on this, like sorry cease and desist sir, and it's like I don't know.
Unless you're Nintendo, then it's always a cease and desist.
Oh, Nintendo.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
But-
Shit, I'm gonna get sued by Kansas. Reference to thing, I don't think anyone would might
Sorry
get
to roll
that.
over your topic.
Oh no, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I
yeah,
look
so
at
that-
John, whenever I look over, he just looks like really pissed off.
No, it's just like music has a different thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I
It's like it's also audio based information that is like actually been recorded publicly.
Yeah. I'm like a caveman when it comes to like that stuff.
Yeah, the music and I try to figure it out. I can't. It's so hard.
It's like I'm like an intellectual in some areas, but then when I get over there, it's like fucking plebeian. It's like what? It's,
Yeah, I know everything about the Pythagorean theorem, but music theory and what the hell a third is?
Yeah, as a music major, I still don't understand music theory. It's fine.
What is this? And you're looking at a music sheet. And that's a note. It's like, no, this is a note. And like you're putting
the whole page is a note.
Yeah.
But
It's a note. No, Patrick, it's a letter, and they flip it over. It's a C.
yeah,
That is like this. Okay.
it's like a really underrated SpongeBob.
That's like an
Yeah,
old
a-
episode too.
It's a really old one. Yeah, it's a good one.
That was the episode when like Patrick had parents.
Yeah. It's normal size and fully functional.
Wait, we don't have a son.
Yeah, wait, we don't have a son. It's so good. Oh my god. But
Yeah, Mike, where do you see
yeah,
yourself in 30
yeah.
years?
So in what?
30, I don't know.
30 years. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Probably dead. I'm gonna rob a bank and to pay for college, and then it's like the movie Heat.
Miami Heat.
No. I guess like the lasting impact I want to have on the world, because I intend to be an art therapist, is to create, not to create, but to enlarge the community of people who are willing to make personal sacrifice to help other people. I think it's a really big problem, like in our modern day, where we don't properly recognize most problems. I don't want to like popularize this example because it's a tragedy, but the Florida shooting kind of like it is like the may or may not be the straw that broke the camel's back with like stricter gun control laws, and hopefully it will be, because that's terrible.
Yeah.
But like none of us like people just don't know how to properly address that issue. Like anyone with power who could create a substantial change doesn't know how to do that. And I think in the public sector, you know, people don't really understand how to properly address things like mental health issues, like depression and anxiety, and a lot of these really deep-seated, poorly misunderstood, poorly conveyed, like in the sense that how the media portrays them in like TV shows and movies. People don't have like a realistic grasp on how critical treatment and awareness is for these things. And but like I think the only thing I would really want anyone to know me for is like, oh yeah, he was a really successful therapist. That's about it. I really don't want to be an icon. I just want to be like one of many motivating forces behind a general like push for a better world in general. Because if we're gonna survive for thousands more years, like if humanity lasts until the heat death of our star, of the sun, then I would love if what I could do made it that far and inspired other people to continue to help other people. Like, I guess in a sense that would make me an icon, but less in the sense of popularity, more in the sense of, wow, that was a good idea. I would do that too. Kind of like an inspirational icon.
Nice.
And in terms of like my artwork, I kind of want to make. I guess like the only thing that I can think of like outside of like helping people with creating like a work of art would be like a full-length feature film, like well made, well done, like hand directed, edited, and shot, like going through that experience more or less, and like documenting that experience. And then not only creating the movie itself, but like like a full like behind the scenes documentary explaining like the trouble that would go into creating like a multi-million-dollar production with like proper writing and proper effects and whatnot. Because I think it would be really interesting to have a grasp on like both sides of it. Like, here's the final product. Look at how great this is. Here's all the shit we had to go through to get to that. And
I just want to mention about that. I recently looked at I think they actually did a small documentary about it, but yeah, I think it's Kubo, Kubo the
Two Strings.
Yeah, they did like a video on like kind of like the behind the scenes, and it shows like there's like the actual film, and then it's like a camera that is like time lapsed by like times 10 or whatever, and all you see is like you see the model, and you just see flashes of the person, and it's like all you like it's so sped up that the person you don't even see the person leaving and coming back. You just see a person moving its hands in. You see that work. Like claymation is probably the most hard work.
Easily the most difficult form of animation.
It is like easy to learn but hard to master. I feel like kind of animation, because all it is just take a picture, move it slightly, and then take another picture, just move it slightly.
I think, yeah, I guess you're right. Easy to learn, hard to master. Because then you get into like the effects of lighting and like. Because
you have to really learn the anatomy of like an entire.
Yeah,
like, if you're trying to do a
fictional
horse,
creature, then like it's even harder because there is no set like ideal. You have to create something that not only feels realistic but like looks good.
Like I don't know the name of the video, but it's a beautiful thing to look because you see like literally it's a sped up of how the movie like is sped up to, and it's like seeing the movie being played at a different perspective and you just see the
So like it's like a cross split where you see like the final product where like the background's been removed,
Yeah,
it's changed, and then you see the person actually standing behind the figure and moving the arms every frame.
It's like seeing like this small creature being alive. Like I think there was a scene where I think it's like this like a fish or something, and you see it's basically this beautiful like spinning or spiral look, and of course it's in the back like from the movie and kind of looks like it's just part of the movie, but like seeing that thing just like slowly moving and just looking alive is
with the amount of effort it would take to get that is insane.
Yeah, it's like I love that stuff. It's like it's kind of giddy to me, so it's like I like seeing that stuff.
They did something similar with Nightmare Before Christmas as well, where it's like an entirely behind the scenes display of how they made all the faces and how they modeled everything.
I did that with Coraline too.
Oh really? Oh cool. I want to say that one because Coraline's a
I hear it's
way more beautiful movie than Nightmare Before
isn't that
Christmas.
like really underrated or something?
I would say Coraline's pretty underrated.
I just know that like for a kids film, it is scary. Like it's not.
It's like that's more of a teen film than a kids film. You know, it's labeled as a kids film.
Yes.
I just remember like
teen young adult.
Scared
kinda.
the hell out of me when I was
It
a
is a
child.
freaky kid.
Because I seen like I think bits of it.
Oh,
I
man,
just
it's freaky.
because all I remember like spoiler alert. People who haven't watched this movie like the past 10 years maybe I don't know. She like the godmother quote unquote is like you could be with us and it's like okay and it's like sew your eyes out and it's like what?
wait, what?
Just hold on a minute.
What I thought was way more disturbing than like the idea of her like having to sew her eyes shut was like everyone else who had fallen for that trap steadily like getting more and more like aware that they're being trapped and trying to get her out.
We should like actually like watch.
We watched it first semester. I'd be happy to do it like during like for Halloween, right? We watched
or something.
We watched Never Before Christmas and Coraline, I think. I don't know if it was back to back.
Well, like
we
watched like the first like 20 minutes or like 15. We were like, okay, this is boring. We're gonna watch Coraline now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because it's not like a group movie. It's like a solo movie you watch.
Yeah.
Kind of like, okay, before we go back on topic, there was a scene, I think, it wasn't Jack and the Giant Peach. Is that James and the Giant Peach. Did that came before or after Nightmare?
After, I
would
think.
Actually before.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
The internet data, thank you.
because if it came before, it's actually a pretty interesting little Easter egg. But if it came after, that's also like another.
What is the movie we're comparing this to? Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do James and the Giant Peach.
So basically, there's a scene in the movie where they go to like I think a sunken ship or like
1996.
1993.
I guess the Peach came out afterwards.
Okay, so then it's
an Easter egg.
It's an Easter egg.
Yeah.
So, they go to a sunken ship or something, and there's a skeleton, like a pirate skeleton, and I believe, like, my memory serves me wrong, but I believe the skeleton looks just like Jack.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if that's just them being really, like, it's kind of like one of those moments, like, it's like, dude, that's a cool Easter egg, and of course the animator's like, yeah, it's totally an Easter egg.
Totally, yeah.
But it's really just a cop-out way of, like,
It's
saving
like we
money.
needed a skeleton prop, and Jack Skellington is already a skeleton, so.
But because I remember, I think they aired that on Cartoon Network when, like, for a bit, and like, wait a minute, that looks like.
Yeah, they did show it a couple of
You
times.
guys should
on
do it
Halloween.
like an animation
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it would
could
be.
probably do that. Like,
Oh, it is. That is actually just Jack's head.
Oh yeah, straight
So
up,
I'm
it
gonna
is.
remember to put this up on screen real quick, but I'm gonna flash a picture of this still image. Like, wow, that is crazy.
Yeah, that's straight up.
Yeah, that is straight up Jack Skellington.
Alright, I'll send it.
Thank you. Email that to me.
but if you want, okay, if you want an animation podcast, yeah, we could
Next.
do that.
That's next.
Yeah,
Or should this just be straight up like future/animation? Because a lot of this podcast is talking about animation.
Well, yeah, true. But the one
Because it's just a tangent that needs to end like right now.
Alright, ready?
Ready?
I'm gonna change topic.
Because I feel like you got a question mark.
I would go back on topic.
Wait. Hold on. No. I got an easy way. Okay, get ready to start. Get ready to say it. Like bada bing, bada boom.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Bada bing, bada boom. Okay.
Future.
Anyway, your question.
Future.
I'm gonna start off with, what do you think environmentally is going to happen. In
Oh,
the
we're all
future?
gonna die.
Oh, the world.
Yeah, I think we're all in mutual agreement that it's too late. We're fine.
Fifth Element on New York.
Fifth Element, New York.
You know how it looks.
I was gonna say the new Lorax movie where they bottle fresh air. They bottle and sell fresh air.
That's so sad.
I mean,
Everything's plastic and it's
everything's fake and plastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
sounds about right.
And there's no Trump.
In the
I could see Donald Trump sing that like, let it die, let it shrivel up and die. What? No one?
I'll be really happy that if that does happen, Danny DeVito is still alive. He just becomes the Lorax. Just his old age just makes him the Lorax.
Evolves into the Lorax.
Yeah, just, I don't know why. I just feel like he was the best Lorax. Like, think about it. Like, he's already done it.
Like his
now.
previous form was the M&M's man. Now he's
Now he's the Lorax.
Lorax.
I would love it if Danny DeVito was the Lorax.
Why is he like
Danny, why don't you even plant trees anymore?
Rule number 49, plant more trees.
Alright.
Okay, so you've done it environmentally.
Oh, yeah.
Do another.
Yeah.
Here's another one. In the near future, what do you think is going to happen to us culturally?
Ooh, that's a fun one.
Define near future.
Like
As in,
Next
in
year.
our lifetime.
In our lifetime?
In our
I would
lifetime.
say-
Do we have a time frame?
well,
From now to, how about...
what do you see that like?
2060?
Okay, let's.
No,
Okay,
how
I
about
could.
2000?
I feel like a better answer would be like,
2100.
what do you see something that's small now that you can definitely see happening, becoming a much bigger thing in the future?
I guess. I mean, I would say.
Yeah,
I would say.
cultural.
I hope it's the first female president, because like
Oh,
Yeah, I
we
think
came
that's most
really,
likely
really
likely.
close, and I was really hoping we would have our first female president.
I was just saying, let's not get political.
No. Well, technically, she did win. Top vote made her.
get political.
Well, we're good. I think.
Well, this
I
is
think
not
it's-
really political.
I feel like at
it's
some
more just
point we
like
might
Yeah,
have to get a little
female
political.
president.
Yeah, it always. There's always a little bit of politics.
Cultural.
Yeah,
I don't know
they're
because
kind of tied together. Cultural views, and political views, somewhat.
my thing, I feel like I'm like I don't want to. It could be counterculture. I don't know. I really hope like two things. I kind of like one thing I'll be really sad that will happen, but hopefully the other option happens is that we become in our society is where we don't handle jokes as much. Like when like I understand where like if you can't tell a joke if you make a joke and you can clearly tell it's a joke, but people still get offended about it, I feel like that's the problem. But if you're making a joke and you can't tell it's a
If
joke,
it's a joke or not, yeah.
yeah, and I think everyone knows, like, probably, like, now we can definitely say that, like, there's been a bunch of people recently that, you know, made jokes and, you know,
They're in that gray area, and it's
Where
really
it's like-
severe, like,
yeah, like,
topical stuff.
yeah. So, but my thing is,
John. Sorry.
well, no, like,
no.
I would say the best thing is, like, PewDiePie, like, I think a year ago when he did the, like,
Oh, the sign.
the fire
Oh,
things.
yeah.
I sadly stopped watching them now.
Yeah, like same, but I'm not like. Of course, he even said like that's like prime example where a joke that like went over a lot of people's head because you know the joke wasn't set up properly. But I'm afraid that that's going to extend to the part where you can clearly tell it's a joke and you can tell the person is like totally doesn't mean that saying of whatever. Either it's a word, a phrase, a meaning, or whatever, and people are like, that's racist, or that's uncultured swine, and it's like,
Cis male scum.
yeah, and it's like,
That gets thrown around a lot, and like cis isn't a bad thing. I don't get it.
well, but my thing is just like I hope we just like get not like I don't want to say like everyone needs thicker skin because like of course there's a bunch of times where people are like okay that's you shouldn't have said that like but there should be like loose like be a little
We should be a little bit more aloof with.
I feel like people should like have this idea when they go into a comedy show or they go see something that
They know
literally
it's
says
comedy.
stand up or comedy on it. They should just let their guard down just a little bit
yeah.
Yeah.
and like just be like, okay, this is here just to make a joke about something.
Literally, Bo Burnham made a song called "Kill Yourself."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
It's like-
and the whole point is like, yeah, you shouldn't just roar, you shouldn't kill yourself. Like
but you
it's to
take
spin
your
around.
advice from a
Yeah,
Katy Perry
it was-
lyrics.
Then,
But like,
Kill yourself.
oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. A lot of things are
and then
happening to
John was
Michael.
never on the
I hit-
podcast
I
again.
hit Michael in the glasses.
You guys have not noticed, John slapped Mike viciously.
There's gonna be an in memoriam of John Engstrom after this because he's definitely dead once his microphone stopped rolling.
Even though this is his.
I'm kidding. It's
word.
Guys,
It's
just
like-
watch the microphone quality just go down a little bit.
Yeah.
In the
I
next
almost just
episode.
spit water everywhere.
Let's play episode 375.
Anyways,
Yeah, sorry, John, you were saying.
yeah, like anything that has a comedy thing on it, they should just be like, they're obviously trying to be doing it for jokes. It's not actually, he's not trying to make any real big statement. And if he is, he'll like actually, he or she will actually put a moment in their show to like actually say this is like a serious thing about what I want to talk about or something like that.
Yeah, like going like, of course, going back on animation for just a minute, not going to full.
Yeah.
If like a video, you can clearly tell it's a joke. Like freaking, I don't know, like you're making fun of the Smurfs. Just because of that, just for some goofy joke or something, and then there's a Smurf online. It's like, that's so rude. It's like, I didn't mean.
Yeah.
Like you could clearly tell I don't mean that. Like.
Yeah. I think a lot of it comes from how content like on the internet is very accessible now. Like you can find pretty much anything, which is bad in some cases.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally
Very bad in some other cases. Like, but the problem is that with everything being so accessible, new content pops up constantly, and people are introduced to that content all the time. So with situations like the PewDiePie fiasco, with like not where he slipped the N-word,
That's another can of
Or
worms.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
or Jake
That's-
Paul, yeah. Like where stuff like that happens, like where we misconstrue these people as one kind of content when they're really another. For example, like PewDiePie's joke with like the sign thing, that company in Africa or whatever, paid like $5
It was
to
India.
print a sign.
Yeah.
Like that was a joke. That none of that was meant seriously, and that was kind of obvious. But if you weren't familiar with his brand of content, you wouldn't have known.
Yeah,
that.
and that was the downfall. I think that's
Yeah.
the reason why.
You know, well, the downfall was him saying the N-word on stream.
Well, that
kind
was
of the downfall.
later, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But, and then there's like situations where like there's content creators like iDubbbz where they're very knowledgeable of the worldly situation that their comedy is in, and then they use that to be like, yes, this is the point I'm trying to make. This is all a joke. You should never think like this. Like they kind of they make a caricature of all these negative aspects we see, and it's like really important.
But it, like but if you guys haven't noticed, the second point I made like earlier is just that the first point was I hope to God that in the world we don't live in this like baby, like dumbed down baby humor where it's like the chicken across the road and everyone's like clapping in like a theater because you can't, like it's so scary to say a joke about anything.
Why does it have to be about a chicken?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The chicken in the corn's like, I
Oh, hi there,
object.
Tumblr. How's it going?
You know, I raise a chicken farm and they're just great
Chickens
people.
don't cross the road.
They don't.
They cross the farm, and then of course
They don't cross the road, they
farmer.
use the crosswalks. Crosswalks are sexy, guys.
And then the
Back to
crosswalks
orientation.
like.
Back to the orientation.
But the other point
Good
is.
time.
But the other point I made like is that I hope people like, you know, have a laugh and enjoy some things like just a little more.
Take the world a little bit less seriously.
Because it's like if you take the world more seriously than it should be, then the world's not fun. It's a dark gray place, and no one likes that. Like it's kind of sucks already what it is, but it's like laugh at the little things.
If things are too real, realism becomes pessimism.
Yeah,
Innately. So.
Because if you like laugh at the little things, don't always.
Yeah.
Don't make every little thing the big.
Yeah,
thing.
there's no reason to like constantly like fight for a cause. Just lay back every once in a while and be like, yeah, this is funny.
Smoke a blunt and just
Yeah.
chill back.
Fucking-
Eat the munchies.
Get laid. Like,
That's a challenge.
No.
wait, what?
Nothing.
Say Kyle.
Love you, Kyle.
No one knows who Kyle is, and he's never gonna watch this, so high five.
Mike, you have a problem here, and that's a challenge for most of us here. It's like, it's not fun. Like if you went to
No, I'm in the sites. Oh no.
yeah.
Culturally, what do you think is going to happen culturally?
Oh, I already said. Oh, I already said. I hope we get like the first female president. And but if I can say, I want to add to that just a little bit with some more. I sincerely hope that the political discourse between parties becomes practically non-existent, because who gives a shit? If you're a good person, I don't care what you believe. If you can separate what you believe from how you act, then fine. If you can just be decent people, it's not that hard. There are 4 of us in one room right now, and it was not hard to get this together. Like, come on.
Let's get 150 people together then.
Let's
That
have
could
a
be
giant,
easy.
giant podcast.
Oh god.
Oh, so many microphones.
It sounds like a disaster.
Yeah.
Miller
Oh,
Auditorium.
do you know how many mixtures we would have to fit into an interface to get it to work? Oh man.
No, honestly, if this,
I mean, it'd be simple, like when you break it down, but like in actuality, the amount of space that would take is like massive.
no, honestly,
Miller Auditorium.
That's all right.
Yeah.
you can just do a live performance, and there you go.
That could work, yeah.
One mic.
One, and we pass it
One
around.
mic.
We ask the question, and 150 people respond, and then we ask the next question, and 150.
No.
It takes an hour and a half to get through the first question.
The intro would just be like one mic, and you just pet the mic, and it's like 2 mics, and it's like, hey.
You're there next to me. How's it going?
Anyways,
Yeah. Tia, yeah.
So even though I feel like this is a long shot, but I really hope. I mean, this is more political than cultural, but like the whole thing with this awful thing called racism, I hope like it goes away. I mean, like, I feel like it'll, in, like, reality, especially, like, today, I feel like it won't actually ever go away. But, like, I just hope that people, at some point, will understand that, like, people are just people, and people deserve to live no matter what they look like. And that goes for, like, all types of discrimination.
And, yeah, just minorities in general.
Yeah, and then, like, sexual orientation as well.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I was gonna say, like, we probably won't see it in our lifetime, but it would probably millions of years, but like it'll definitely go away. Like, once like, have you guys seen like the picture of what the human
What a future human looks like. We have a special guest
Hi, Dewey.
on the
God damn it,
podcast.
Dewey, there's only 4 pictures. I can't just throw you around the screen.
Hey guys, Dewey Bowles.
Just put it like the top of his face.
Yeah, like his face is gonna pop in from the top of the screen. It's gonna sit down.
I like how we get to this like really like meaningful like actual like debate like question that like
And then
is
Dewey barges in. Hey guys, suddenly Seymour.
I'm just gonna be in my room playing Webkins, honestly.
dude, Webkins, dude. I was
good.
I had that dog with the flappy ears.
Oh yeah.
I called him Flappy. Best animal I had.
But anyways, Dewey, what is your input about what do you think is going to happen in the future to us in the like a recent future, like in our lifetime, culturally? I know that's a heavy question.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's a heavy
Well,
one.
cult.
Mike, basically, I'll give you something.
Yeah.
Very. Mike talked about next female president. Tia talked about like just equality and just debate, basically like getting rid of racism and.
I mean, I can only hope that it'll kind of we'll have less social issues like racism, and I mean, I don't know, those kind of stereotypical movies where it's like, there like is no race, or those stories where like everyone's just like the exact same thing, like the gray alien type thing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know this? Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, not to that extreme, but hopefully in the future there will be, racism will kind of die out. I mean, female president would be cool. We could have had one this year. But... Well, I would vote. Okay, bye.
Oh, that's another thing. For me, I hope because
His picture just
I
went
was-
back up
I-
out of the screen.
he'll probably pop it down a few times. Who knows?
That's pretty much
But
what
No, he's on a wire, so like his picture goes up, and then the wire snap, and he falls
Yes.
down and bounces along the
Yes.
bottom like.
I hope the door came in like in audio, so you just, if not, add a door slamming and just slowly.
He leaves.
I-
He was like kind of like fades away.
But yeah.
Sorry, John. Yeah.
I hope, at least for me, because I was lucky enough to have my birthday, and sadly lucky enough, to have my birthday on election day, so I was able to go out and vote for the president, and just everybody in general. But like
And when he says vote for the president, he does not mean he voted for Donald Trump.
no, I did not actually, but I will not say anything about my political views. But
Go for ducking the truck.
anyways, hey look, dude, it's going
He's
down.
not my president.
Bye, dude.
Good thing he's not.
Why do-
Good thing he's not an official guest.
And so I hope that we've learned from what has happened these past couple of years, almost 3. We're reaching 3 here, but we have 2 in the bag. But I hope people will just actually try to attempt to put in because I feel like we're so verbal online that we should be able to be very voicing with our votes.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like people need to go out and I know everybody says this line. Everybody needs to go out and vote, but like honestly, people should really put their word out there because that will make a significant.
But I think what's cool is that, like, I have to bring up Parkland again, but a lot of, like, the teenagers who were at that school are, like, soon they'll be able to vote, and you see, like, the demographic with them and, like, us, because, like, we're their age. Since we are more vocal as to, like, what we do and don't like in politics, and like as soon as we're all able to actually vote, I feel like that'll definitely like make some sort of difference.
I actually another thing I really want to see, kind of like 2. One thing is hopefully news coverage would be better because we can't.
But I feel like there's still going to be some sort of bias.
Well, yeah, well, no,
There'll
no,
always
no,
be a
it's-
bias.
yeah,
Like,
it's a
hopefully,
hard
like
case
Fox
to
is
start.
like, isn't like Fox like
Fox is like
Republican?
Fox is
It's-
Republican,
it's-
and
I would say.
CNN is more like liberal.
Okay.
Well, it's more conservative. It's more
I-
conservative.
Yeah, that's what I was
It's
about to say.
conservative
It's
liberal,
more
not-
conservative, and the
So
other
Fox is
one.
conservative, CNN,
So,
ABC.
But
yeah.
my thing is like I really like when it comes to just like looking back at the presidential election, it was like always these like not scandals, but like there's always this stuff that like
Drama.
yeah, drama. It was always drama. Like lately there was like a news an outlet like Donald Trump is not gonna win the presidential election, and it's like not even 2 minutes later, it's like he's gonna win the presidential election by the
Yeah.
same people.
They're
and
playing
it's like,
this. Yeah, everyone plays both sides of the card, and it's stupid.
But-
Because you get all this conflicting information, and none of it's
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah, and
Like,
but it kind of like leads into that. But it's just like when it comes to people, I feel like the news is not a great way to get your resources and your
Well, I'm gonna block you for just like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, news can be a great source of information. The thing is, I feel like everybody should be aware of all news, not just
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
news
Yeah,
source.
for
You
sure.
can't.
That's always
You
good.
can't stay on one source. You have to use multiple sources. Because because talking about that shooting, I was in the gym working out, and I was on a tread, and I could see that I was watching TV, and 2 different news people were covering the news at the time during the shooting that was happening. One said something completely different,
Yeah.
and so I had to make my own assumptions to figure out what was going on during that, and I basically figured out what was happening.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I was going to lead into is like it's like people should look more into like when it comes to especially for presidential elections, really look into what people are actually doing. Don't look at just one source because chances are they're either not going to like this guy or like this guy. Because I remember I had like not like a debate or something, but where it was to a point where something, I think it was like something happened, something they passed like the law or whatever, and my like buddy was like, the person I talked to was just like, dude, like this is cool, and then like, just because he read one outlet that like course was like favored of the bill, but then like didn't realize the other implications of what it will affect.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's sad that like people won't take the time to like go in depth of what they're looking at. Like, I feel like if you're looking at news coverage, don't be like, oh, well, that's true.
Yeah,
I would be
that's
like,
definitely a fact right there.
yeah, be like, okay, so they're talking about this, I should look more into this. Because like, especially for people that are like just getting into voting or just getting into something, they should at least cross-reference is like the best way to say it.
Hi, Dewey. Yeah. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm sorry. I looked at Tia and I was like,
But yeah, and I also, if you can't hear me as better as much as I was sitting down, anyways. But like, also we needed to actually just make sure we know that there's a significant, very significant difference between a fact
And fiction.
and an opinion.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
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 Oh my
Because-
goodness.
Yeah. Snaps.
Literally in my room right now, I
Snaps.
have on my
Snapping.
calendar, I have something that literally says, it is a proven fact now. Then there's a person who responds with, I don't believe in your facts. Then that person responds with, the other person responds with, facts are facts, not a belief. Then that follows with, that's your opinion. And he's like, it is not an opinion, it is a fact. The guy's like, from your side. The other guy's like, there are no sides, just facts. And the guy responds with, but I don't think so. And then the guy's like, just because you don't think a fact doesn't mean it isn't. Wait, sorry. Just because you don't think it is a fact doesn't mean it isn't. He's like, the other guy responds with, well, I have my suspicions. And then the guy responds, finally gets really mad, and he's like, it's useless arguing with you. And then the guy responds with, now that's a fact. So I feel like we need to make sure we not only just aware, but we should just like know what a fact is in comparison to an opinion. Because there's so many people with opinions, which is a lot of bias.
Opinions are like assholes.
But if
What
you just
happened?
provide
Please
facts,
don't shove one down my son's throat.
if you just provide facts, then it's not entirely biased.
I'm just tired of, earth politics. I'm waiting for
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for the evolution of politicians or like stories about like the Zognoids or something. It's like the Zognoid stock market is through the roof, and it's like, that's more interesting because it's something new.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like you just wake up, you have your daily coffee, and then you just see your average news, and then you just one channel click, and it's just and it's just like a page of like the I don't know, snurkles. I don't know what alien. I don't know what they're gonna be calling.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if like, that were to happen, like we're part of something much bigger, so our own like bullshit,
not
all
just
the bullshit
be like,
we put up with now is like irrelevant.
No, 'cause
Even
it'd be
irrelevant,
more
right?
interesting. Like, I'm tired of seeing like, well, Putin's at it again. I want to see the alien equivalent of Putin because he's cool. He's an alien.
That's his name. Totally a lot of weird.
I can't wait to find that alien race. It's like, oh well, we are the gyms.
Hello.
It's all the same
It's
person.
a hive mind.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Gary
It's,
and
Oh, it's like
it's
like
literally
Rick and Morty.
from Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
It's an episode.
Yeah.
Or be like the Garys.
Yes.
Gary.
But anyways, I have another question for everybody. What do you think is going to happen in the future, recent future, with us technically? What are we gonna
Oh,
see technology-wise?
So this is going to be our final question,
Yeah.
because we're running unfortunately low on time.
Sure.
I'm going to lead off with this one and say bionic limbs and physical enhancements for the human body. We've come an incredibly long way with that kind of technology so far, and it's only getting easier and easier to produce as we're capable of producing smaller, more efficient, cheaper versions of what we previously had.
Somebody has an artificial heart right now.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Literally,
Right.
I was watching an article that literally said there's literally somebody out there with who's not alive with no heartbeat or something like that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's so amazing.
And it's really fantastic. I think that kind of thing, like giving people like newfound mobility and like to reestablish their mobility and independence, like that's really, really cool. And that will be probably the best thing to see. Like fuck the new NVIDIA graphics card. I want this person to be able to run. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be cool.
give this person some focus on this.
I have one, but I won't go last.
Okay.
Tia?
Yeah, T.
I mean, what Michael said. I think like it's super cool like how far technology has come and we're able to make cool things that help people. Like specifically, I mean like there's like the whole cool other stuff with like technology, like with like phones and computers and stuff. But
Like
actually,
then now.
I know.
Phone snaps.
But I mean, having technology that can be used to help others, so like bionic limbs, artificial organs, yeah, like stuff like that. I think that's super cool. Sorry, I don't have an
No.
original answer.
That'd be really funny, like, you know how, like, for us, it's like, damn it, I cracked my phone. In the future, when, like, your phone's able to bend, it's like, damn it, I made a paper airplane.
Again.
Yeah.
Like, how do you It's a long story.
I made a crane, and now I'm able to play Flappy Bird for real, and...
Your phone is the
Flappy
bird.
Bird's still around.
you, like, throw it, and it actually works, and you're like... like a golf
It's like, oh
clap.
crap, now I gotta chase my phone down.
I have a huge list of things I think is going to happen technologically. I think there's going to be somebody out there right now who is like in high school or elementary school who is going to be the next person who's going to be the first person to be on Mars. I think that's going to be a possibility in the future, in our near future.
Yeah.
I believe that we will have some sort of artificial intelligence. We don't know. I can't guarantee you what's going to happen with this artificial intelligence. I just know that we will have something like that in our future. I believe that we will, I don't know, find another like element or source of energy that we haven't discovered yet. And I also think we'll advance a lot in like, I don't know, just basic stuff. Like, I know there's the hoverboard kind of deal, but I don't think that's gonna really happen. But I hope that we discover like more interesting, like, and detailed technology, fancy schmancy technology.
Is it scary or really weird that, like, the most, like, crazy technological advances is because of war? Like, if you think about it, like, the first
Atomic
jet...
bomb.
Like, well, yeah. But, like, the jet plane was first invented in, like, Germany in some way.
Yeah.
Just because,
Oh, yeah,
like,
because-
Hitler's like, dang it, these Mustangs are faster than the Guggenheimers, and it's like...
The Guggenheimers.
The Guggenheimers, I should know this, but it's like... They made the jets, and then America is like, well, we better go there first. And then, like, they made the jets, and, like, now we have jet planes, jet engines, and all that.
Space travel because of the Cold
Yeah.
War.
Ooh, and another thing. I feel like, hopefully, this is also kind of culturally that we'll be more and more, like, concerned about our like, just environment and ecosystem right now. So we will, like, pay more attention to different sources of energy. That's also kind of why I talked about the energies. Like, we'll have more solar panels and or wind power or some sort of other energy source other than raw fossil materials. That
I mean, we already have like nuclear energy, which is like a really efficient way
It's
to do it. Just
efficient,
no
but
one's
it's a-
comfortable with it. You know?
Well,
Like-
let me ask you this. When you have a giant machine that if one person doesn't do their job, destroys half the state, like...
yeah, that's kind of
That's the
Fucking
scary part.
worth it if
That's
it can
a-
power the equivalency of the entire United States for a year. Like,
Well,
on reserve power. Like, yeah.
When there's a
I mean,
madman, it's like, I want to destroy
There are
something.
trade-offs.
my biggest
I think.
worry about that is that somebody will find a fucked up way to make it a weapon, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
That's a
like
good
that's
point.
like his. There's like a diagram of like what happens if like for example, Michigan, had a meltdown in Detroit. It like affects until like you get to like almost like really north. Like it does a number.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I think someone did the calculations where if you were to drop a nuclear bomb the size of like Little Boy on Detroit, how far it would go, and how, you know, like who was safe and who was not. Like who's safe, who's kind of safe, who's not safe at all, if safe is even a relevant word to use in that context.
Okay,
But yeah,
so fair thing is just AI, like kind of like with everyone with AI and mechanics and all that. But robots, just because how advanced, and everyone's just like, dude, it's gonna be Terminator. It's like, dude, no. The thing that's like, I think it'd be interesting when you're able, like, everyone like thinks of the Terminator and stuff like that. Like recently there was a video, I think in Oxford or like Boston, they released like the bipedal like dog robot, whatever, opening a door for the first time or something. And it's like, I want like a pet robot, just because, not because it's like, I love you, like, dude, I love you, dude, and it's just like 111100010, and then you like put in the calculator, and it's like, love you too, and it's like, it's like, I have red dog. But it's just like, I like having the, not like chappy, but like kind of just because I'm a like an anime guy, or like just like animations. I like the having that like robot companion that like, it's like Jarvis or like Grog, I don't know, like insert name here, like where's, like how much longer before I'm able to hit this point? And it's like, you have 75, like entry and answer, and then it's like more manly, and it's like, you're there, and it's like you're hitting it. I just like having that robot companion, not like C-3PO, but more like human-like.
Yes.
And then
Like Chappie.
Like Chappie, yeah.
And then there's of course the other side of mankind, which I find it surprising that like a lot of money is putting into it, but like just sex robots, like I find that hilarious, just how advanced it's getting. Just like,
Joey!
we're talking about sex robots.
I was waiting for an ideal moment to come in, and then I heard sex robots.
What is your input about sex robots, dude?
I mean, they haven't disappointed me yet, so.
Dude, like, come on, like, why you can't? Like, why not? That's the question. If the robot's like, of course it's probably gonna be like, dude, like, what's, like, you touch me right there, and it's like, of course it's like probably not gonna be the best, because again, it's just rolling out.
I actually have an actual thought.
Dewey!
So, but it's like, I mean, yeah, sex robots are kind of like just when people buy like the dolls that they consider to be their actual companion. It's just, why? I just don't get it. I mean, if some people, I just don't understand it personally, but.
It's for like the people that are like extremely lonely. They don't like, they're like, I will spend thousands of dollars on getting with this robot lady, or then spending a couple dollars and maybe try to make a social contact.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I understand why some people do it, but that's something that
As one
we kind of like. I don't know why we pride ourselves on that.
We
like,
really don't.
We don't.
It's
It's
just like,
that-
this is a funny thing, so news is
But
like,
okay,
hey,
but yeah,
sex sells.
we think it's funny, but the people who are actually using them, they're very serious about it.
Oh no, they go hardcore.
Yeah.
Like whenever people
I
like,
bet they do.
no, because when you think about it, like whenever people are like, would you ever get a sex doll? It's like, being experienced, but it's like you're not gonna see them being like, yeah, I'm gonna go full on that shit. Like I'll get the add-ons with it. They're just like, yeah.
The Turbo Buster cock
Is
thruster
there anything else
3000.
you wanted to talk about
But
for the technology?
I'm
sorry, I'm just gonna.
No, that's why like before I started talking about sex robots, it's just actual robots. Just because like I feel like having a dog is awesome, having a cat is awesome too. Just having like a companion that like will never die is kind of like
Till the battery runs out, you know?
yeah, well, it's not like you'll be with me forever, and it's like I will. Memory deleted, like that Futurama skit.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I'll always remember you. Memory deleted. You know, I just want to bring the sex robots just for the lulz.
But I love the joke that they're making now. It's like you finish up with the sex robot, and it's like, so what are we? Powers down? Yeah.
No, I just want to imagine
It's
like
such
a guy
a weird, like avant-garde kind of concept. You're like,
I just want to imagine the guy like wakes up and it's like, hey honey, it's like fuck me hard, and it's like I love you too, babe.
All it does is talking like really
It's
sexual.
really raunchy. It's really bad, and you're just like,
I love you, sweetie.
fuck
Do you
me
want
hard.
eggs in my ass?
Oh my god.
I'll take
Honey,
that.
that's not the right
Yes.
mouth.
This is an
Not the right hole.
Well.
Yeah.
This is a very
Well, on that note,
Thanks for letting me do the last podcast, guys.
kind of sound like you did last.
oh yeah, of course I'm gonna do the other outros. So now that we've finished up, we're gonna ended up on that note. We've run out of time. So, Mike, is there anywhere we can find your content online?
Not
or-
yet. No.
Do you have
I'm on
any
Twitter.
social media you can link us
Like
to?
yeah.
I'm on
and
Twitter,
Instagram.
but you'll probably find nothing. You're gonna probably see me liking Gundam and anime stuff. So I think just Hank the Deuce 13. That's it.
Okay.
Look for like 2 cats. I might change it. I don't know.
This will definitely be in the description as well. I will make sure there are links.
Yeah, definitely.
Tia.
Again, I have to pull out my phone and look at my Twitter and Instagram handles.
Okay.
Because I don't remember.
We'll jump to me then.
Yeah.
So you can find me on my website. That'll be in the description because it's too long of a name. I have a SoundCloud. If you just type in search for SoundCloud, you just have to type in my name, John Engstrom, Engstrom, and you'll see my face and you can listen to my tunes. And then I got a YouTube channel too. And yeah, that's pretty much it too.
Yeah, I have Twitter. It's at Tia_Kierre. That's TIA_KIERRE. As of lately, I've been getting a little political on my Twitter, so if you can't handle that, then don't follow it. And then my Instagram is tia.k. TIA.KAY.
It's gonna be funny when if people actually do follow me. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Because here's the thing: I follow Gundam model kit like arts. I like Shiba Inus and like otters and anime and other stuff. So
Yeah, the
yeah.
essentials. Yeah.
So literally the entire of like what like the cringy to like, oh, that's pretty cool. So it's like, get ready if you actually do. Yeah, no.
You can find me on Instagram, Michael_O'Connor_artist, and at tumblr.com/Michael O'Connor Art and Design.
Oh yeah, I should say that on my Instagram I post music things sometimes.
My Instagram is a combination of life shit and art, mostly art stuff right now, and then my Tumblr is entirely art sectored. I do occasionally publish photos and drawings that I enjoy.
Yes, John.
Yes, John?
Dewey!
No, wait,
Where
stop.
can we
If you
find
guys
Dewey?
want more Dewey Bowls, be sure to pledge to us on Patreon. Minimum of 5. Put the recorder down, Dewey. Put the recorder
For
down.
some hot recorder covers, follow at Chewy
Dude,
At Shoe My Dude.
On Instagram.
On Instagram.
you better learn how to do the Willy Wonka, like, you know the original Willy
Yes,
Wonka?
yes.
Do that friggin' whenever you enter, like, it's like, hello.
That's a penny whistle.
Right now he does like Sandstorm all the time.
Oh my god, I want to learn how to play that.
Do the John Cena theme. G sharp, A sharp, F sharp, G sharp, B, A sharp, F sharp, G sharp.
So I know G.
It's G sharp
Yes.
though.
Close enough.
He tried.
You tried.
Well, thanks for
Yay,
having
another
me. Like,
successful podcast.
thanks for having me. It's great
Yeah.
that I got on the show and the final episode.
In the final episode.
I probably ruined
Remember,
it.
the quality of the audio is going down.
Because John will be dead.
And I ruined the commentary of this entire.
No,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's the thing. I feel like I was walking in, it's like, oh, this is probably gonna be like nice, calm, and relaxing. Maybe like you put jazz to this. You might
There is jazz in the
There's gonna be
background,
jazz.
actually.
Oh god, this is gonna be amazing when we get to the sex toys.
Just please put in some Marvin Gaye.
With the sex.
Like, no, that's just like.
Careless
I
Whisper
just
comes in.
find it
Yes.
really funny.
Where can it come up organically?
Yes.
Where can it come up conceptually?
Oh.
Hey!
Oh god.
Anyways,
Now is a good time to
pledge on Patreon for Dewey's fantastic recorder solos, and
If we get $50, we'll make a soundtrack of Dewey's didgeridoos.
And if you put in $1,000, you will get a free sex doll.
you get a T-shirt. If you get $1,000,
Free
you get.
sex doll, all signatures on the breast.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you all so much for watching and checking this out. Bye, everybody.
Bye.